I'm gonna try, gonna try, gonna try. Work till I die, till I die, till I die. I'm gonna fail and get up, cause I'm not giving up on my dream.
Hi my lovely Frosty fam, it's me, Karen Frost at Nail Decadence with another video. Oh yeah. Right, so I'm showing you what I will be using to do this set. So I've got the Naio, I'm using the Naio Nails acrylic system. There's a soft white and a peach colour that I mixed myself, and then we've got this gorgeous peach echo multi-mix from the lovely Smileys glitter store, and it's a gorgeous glitter mix. And then of course I have the clear acrylic from Naio Nails, and the base colour I'll be using, nail base, oh god, think Karen, the nail bed colour I'll be using is Flawless. So now that we've got that out the way, as you can see, I will be sculpting this set using the awesome, I mean awesome SBD London forms. They are thick, they are strong, they are long, and they're just amazing, brilliant forms, really sticky, and yeah, I love them. I can't rave about them enough. Best forms, and they still are the best forms I've ever tried, and I've been using these for well over a year now. So yeah, wicked forms, and they're pretty to look at too, so can't go wrong. Look at that holographic and that blue, that's stunning. Anyway, as you can see, I'm fitting my forms. I always tip my forms up because I have hooked nails, but that's what you generally do when you're doing Russian almonds anyway, so in this case it would be, that's what you'd need to do on somebody who doesn't have hooked nails as well. So yeah, get that form positioned sort of like you were going to do a stiletto. You pinch it in. The Russian almond is not easy, I will say that. It's not easy at all, and this was not an easy set. I've only ever done one nail practice before this, what you see me doing in this video. I'll stick a picture in here of that one nail that I did. Here we go. So this was my first attempt before I did the set that I'm doing in this video. So I just did a standard sculpt with clear and then gel polish. So yeah, it wasn't a bad first attempt, but I could see where I needed to improve. It wasn't pinched enough. So on this set I made sure that the forms were really pinched to get that really, I don't know, the Russian almond is such a strange shape for me to do because it's one that I obviously, like I said, I hadn't done before, and it's technically very challenging, but I like a challenge. It's like with those edge nails, you know, I like a challenge. And I mean, the set came out pretty, but yeah, I need more practice, I think. So I will be visiting the Russian almond again at some point. But anyway, enough about what I haven't done and what I have done. Let's get on with what I'm doing, huh? So as you can see, I am using, well, it's not quite clear, it's very, very pale translucent pink. I'm using that to sculpt out my base. Now I'm doing my base a bit thicker than I normally would because I'm going to file it into shape. So normally I'd do the base very, very thin. This is slightly thicker than how I normally do it because I wanted to get the forms off, because I found with the forms on it's kind of awkward when you, and I wanted to be able to sort of hold my fingers in the right position to do the Russian almond shape. But yeah, I wanted the forms off, especially with like when I wanted to do the 3D flowers that I encapsulate and stuff. It's just easier if I don't have a form on. So I just wanted to get the base sculpted, file it into shape so that I'd also then have less filing at the end. But yeah, oh, so I'm giving them a pinch as well. I want to pinch all the way, not just at the where my natural free edge meets the acrylic. I wanted to pinch it all the way up, because like I said, with that first attempt they were definitely not pinched enough, so I want to make sure I get that pinch in on time on these ones. So I will carry on sculpting these bases. I'm only showing you these two nails, and so when this nail's ready I'll pinch it and move on to the next nail. Same as you saw the first two being done, do again. So at this point obviously I've sculpted all my bases, and now we are going to file them into shape, because we want it to be decent enough so that I don't have a ton of filing at the end. Shaping the Russian almonds are a bit tricky, so it's hard to explain, but the end of the nail slopes under, so the free edge of the nail, instead of coming to a point like a stiletto, it looks like a stiletto from the top, or an almond from the top if you had look like bird's eye view, but then from the side it kind of looks like the edge nail, because the free edge slopes in to meet the side wall to form the underarch, and then the underarch is really pinched, like really pinched. And to get that shape right, it takes a bit of finessing, we'll say. It's not easy. You have to pay really good attention to what you're doing, and to get all those slopes right underneath the free edge, make sure they're all at the right angle, that they all match. It's definitely a technical set of nails to produce, and me being me, I didn't just sculpt them and gel polish them, I had to be extra, didn't I? And I did French, oh my god, I did French with 3D flowers in it. I mean, who does that on their first set of Russian almonds? Oh yeah, I know who. Me, I do it because I'm crazy. I just, I don't know. I sit back and I think, what were you thinking, Karen? Why didn't you do something simple for your first try? No, I went all out. I was like, no, I want these to be banging. I want them to be totally out there and spectacular. And so, yeah, this is what I did. Because I like to torture myself, apparently. My other hand, you see where I have my right hand done. Obviously I did that using my non-dominant hand, using my left hand. That took ages, so it's been a couple of days in this video since doing the right hand to do the left hand. Yeah, I needed time to recover after that. Oh good lord. That was interesting. That's why I did that first, because I knew if I'd have done it the other way round, I would have looked at my right hand and thought, there's no way I'm going to do this with my left. Not happening. But I did, so yeah. You gotta just go for it sometimes, you know? Just go for it. Anyway, as you saw just then, I compared my two ring fingers together to make sure I get my nail bed the same sort of length and shape, so that we've got some consistency. It's not yeah, it does look better if you make sure that it's the same on both hands, and as those two fingers that I'm doing the French on are very close to each other, it's quite important to get all four of those nails very closely matched. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but match them as closely as possible, I would say. So I'm using that nail bed colour Flawless, which is really pretty actually. It's a very nice colour. I think it would suit quite a few skin tones. It's just a nice peachy pink, you know. So as you can see, still matching them up, adding a little bit more just to make it a bit longer, and then I will do the same thing on the middle finger. So again, reverse French method. First bead, bring it down to the similar length as I've got on the other finger. Pat and press it into place as best I can, try and keep the shape. I will file these in though so that I get nice sharp lines. Second bead near the cuticle area, blend that into the first bead, get the cuticle area nice and neat, all of that jazz, the usual. And added another bead that I felt I needed, and I'll always check it from all different angles, fill in any missing bits as usual. So I've got my nice wall built up. Wasn't high enough on this side because you want that to be, you know, some similar or if not the same height all the way around that wall. Missed a bit on that side there, so add that on. I'll let those nail beds harden up whilst I carry on onto the other fingers. So on the little finger I am doing it's basically a almost full nail of that peachy colour. So it's kind of clear just at the very end, very tip of the nail with a bit of glitter on top, sort of glitter ombre, that sort of thing. So you'll see. So go in, cuticle bead, get that area nice and neat, then I'll add another bead and feather that down nice and thin. If I need any more I will add more so that I've got good opaque coverage where I want it, but then like I said, towards the tip I'm fading it out so that there's none of the peach colour right on the very end of the tip. Same on the index finger, cuticle bead, pat and press that into place neatly around the cuticle area, bring that rest of the bead down. I'm not building any strength with these beads, this is just for colour only. Second bead, blend that back into the first bead and then ombre that down, fade it down towards the end of the nail. And if it's not opaque enough I will add a tiny bit more, as you saw. And again, still needing a little bit more on that side, add it on, tiny bead. And on the thumb I'm doing the same again, so in with that cuticle bead, pat that in, get that nice and neat and fade the rest down. Add a second bead, but this one is going around the cuticle area, I wasn't happy with it. And then I'll go in with the next bead to drag it down towards the very tip of the nail, the free edge. There we go, so there's that, what should have been the second bead but it's now the third bead. Blend that into the previous and then fade that down the rest of the nail. Add some more to make sure I've got the colour that I'd like. This is still very thin, looks quite high, but my natural, the apex of my natural nails are quite high anyway. These layers are thin. So then I will use my clear acrylic to pick up, just with a very tiny bit of clear acrylic, I'll pick up some of that gorgeous glitter mix and I will put that on the tip of the nail and then fade that down, so of ombreing it over the peach, 3/4 of the way down the nail, kind of. So quite far down. Same on the index and the thumb, so this time I've applied the acrylic onto the nail, so I've used a thin clear bead of acrylic or a tiny clear bead of acrylic, put that on the nail, and then I'm just using my brush, my damp brush, to pick up the glitter and pat that into the clear acrylic, so that's also a way you can do it. You don't have to actually pick up the glitter with the clear acrylic. You can apply the clear acrylic first and then just use a damp brush to pat your glitter into it, and it will hold it in place. Excuse my head there, I was looking for a particular shape that I wanted. I wanted one of those circles. Anywho, same with the thumb. I've gone straight over the nail with the clear acrylic and then using my damp brush to pick up the glitter pieces and pat it into that clear layer of acrylic. I'm pick and choosing some certain bits that I wanted, and once I'm happy with that, I will go back and cap them. So capping the little finger, fairly wet bead of acrylic because I want it to flow over the glitter without too many air bubbles. Add another bead, so we're just encapsulating all of those gorgeous iridescent glitter pieces. And then I will also add my beads of strength. So this is where I'm thinking about my apex and the structure of the nail when I'm finished with the tip, that is. Just making sure that's all encapsulated. You know it's encapsulated when the glitter goes dull. If it's still sparkly and shiny, you've not capped it. Okay, so now in with that cuticle bead, and then bring the front of the bead down, cap that the back of the nail, and make sure that my apex is there. If my apex isn't there, as you can see, I will add another bead, and I'm going to do the same on the index and the thumb, and I will come back when that bit's finished.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on. I tried so hard to let go, writing poetry and rhymes just to get you off my mind. It's either yes or it's no.
Finally finished capping those nails, and I will now file in those smile lines. Now when I'm filing in the smile lines, I am pushing against the wall that I am filing, not down onto the nail bed. So try not to push down, because you will file into the nail bed, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to, no, you just don't want to do that. So try and push only against the wall, not down onto the nail. And once I've got those nice and straight and the way I want them, I will dust off. I'm still filing in at the moment. Weren't the best of reverse smile lines, so they took a little bit of filing in to get them the way I wanted them. That little bit of side bit is really annoying. It's like, come on, get the way I want you, get off. So finally, am I happy? No, a little bit more. Comparing it to my other hand. Apparently they were not the same as the other hand, so keep filing in. There we go, finally, yay. Jeez, that took forever. Anyway, so dust away the dust, and then I will use my damp brush to dampen down the nails, and I will use the cloudy milky white that I mixed up, and I'll put that right up against the smile line wall. That way I know when I file it in that I'll get a nice crisp line. I'm sorry I'm out of shot here. There we go, I'm back in shot now. So I'm just making sure the milky white is, and I'm going over slightly over the top of the nail bed, so because I want to make sure I get nice sharp lines. Same on the other hand. So as you see, I'm fading down the tip of the nail just a little bit. Most of the white is staying right up by the nail bed area, the extended nail bed area I should say. Most of the white staying there. I'm just fading the rest of it just down slightly. Oh, something stuck in my acrylic there, so I had to dig that out with my brush. There you can see I'll go over the smile line just a bit, just to make sure I've got no gaps, and like I said, when I file that in it'll be nice and sharp then. So now that I've done that bit, time for the encapsulated 3D flowers. So tiny teeny, I'm really gutted I'm out of shot quite a lot on this. I'm so sorry. So frustrated with myself that I'm out of shot so much on this. I've had to cut quite a lot of the content out because I was out of shot, so there was no point leaving it in. I'm gutted because it took quite some time to do these little 3D flowers, and I wanted you guys to be able to see it, and you can't because I'm out of shot, and it's gutting, absolutely gutting. So all I can do is apologise that yeah, you can't really see what I'm doing. You can only see tiny bits here and there, like this petal you can see me doing. So I'm using the tiniest amounts of acrylic, and I'm patting them so thin, so thin. In real life you would be surprised that these are paper thin. That's how flat you have to pat them, because you're going to encapsulate them. You don't want huge bulky nails, so these have to be super thin. But I will pat and press each little bead into place and add another bead and keep going until I've got the amount of petals that I want, and then in the middle I just do a tiny teeny little bead, and then I sort of wiggle my brush in the middle of it to create the center. That part, oh no, that's not the center, I'm just making a few more petals there. Now I'm doing the center bead, which is just a teeny tiny bead, roll my brush to get it into a point, and then just sort of stab it and wiggle my brush inside to just get a little, I don't know, a little channel, little hole as it were, so that it's looking down into the flower, sort of a wrapped around petals sort of style, if that makes sense. And yeah, so on both nails, on the middle finger and the ring finger, they're both very similar. Not exactly the same, of course, because I can't do any flowers exactly the same. They're sort of spaced similarly along the free edge of the nail. And it's out of focus, and oh, I'm so sorry. It's just really awkward to film doing 3D especially on these shape of nails as well. So you see how I'm having to hold my finger, because it's the shape of the nail is sort of they're side angles, you know. It's a triangle shaped nail, so trying to get anyway, needless to say, you can see how awkward it is, so you can imagine what it's like trying to film doing this. It's not easy. I've left in what I have in shot for you. I'm sorry there's so much that wasn't in shot. It's just the way it goes sometimes. I was so engrossed in what I was doing, I totally forgot to look up and make sure I was in shot. So, but you can see on this much more on this nail how I'm doing it. Pat and press those super thin. Can you see how thin I'm patting those beads, really pancaking them? So I shall leave you to watch the rest of the 3D bit, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so finished with those flowers. So now I'll use a tiny bead of clear acrylic to pick up some of that gorgeous glitter mix, and I will put that in and around, well, yeah, around the flowers, and a little bit sort of up towards the nail bed, but not too far up. Just a nice little smattering. I don't want to totally cover up the nail with it, but just to give it a bit of sparkle. Yeah, just, who don't like sparkle? I like sparkle. I was determined to have a bit on right on the tip there, so I'm fighting with it, trying to get it on. And then once that is finished, I will encapsulate those two nails with clear acrylic, of course. There we go. Quite a wet bead, because again we want the clear acrylic to flow over those glitter particles and the 3D flowers really nicely. We don't want to get any trapped air bubbles or get any air pockets, so encapsulate those nicely. And as you see, I'm just encapsulating the free edge, not the nail bed area. That way I can file in my smile line, and Flawless is a strength powder, so I don't need to cap it. Although I do prefer capping the whole nail, it would have been just more work for me to cap that after filing it in, and I couldn't be bothered. This set was a lot of work as it was, so rather than make more work for myself, I built the strength with the nail bed colour for a change. That way when I file this in, I don't have to go back and cap it. once I'm finished capping the free edge, that is. So everything is capped and it is hardened, and now it's time to file away. I've left some of the filing in, not a lot, just a little bit to show you how I filed these nails, because they are a different shape to what the standard shapes. So I left a little bit of the filing in, not a lot, but a little, so you can see how I'm doing it, how I angle the file to get that shape nice and crisp. I hate filing my little finger. It's got no, what's the word, no strength, like it wobbles all over the place. I hate doing my little finger, so annoying, it's got no strength. You can see how I'm filing up one side and up the other side. And then I will use my e-file to reveal those smile lines. Obviously the e-file is a lot quicker than using the hand file, saves my fingers. Using the e-file to just shape the rest of the nail as well while I'm at it. File away any of the bulk and reveal those crisp, lovely smile lines that we worked so hard to achieve. Me. You guys didn't do it, I did. Don't know why I said we. Crazy. Same thing on this finger, reveal that smile line, remove any of the bulk from the nail bed area. So I did build those walls quite high. I knew I'd be filing them back. And once I'm finished with the e-file, then I'll use my hand file to just refine that shape and get it as good as I can get it. Brush off all the dust, wash my hands. I don't think I did wash my hands, I think I just used a lint-free wipe and rubbing alcohol, wiped over the nails, and then it's time for crystals. So I'm using the SBD London Diamond Gel pen again because it's wonderful and it holds crystals really nicely, and I'm just trying to compare with my other hand what I did so that the nails are the same. And I've got these lovely, what shape are these, like teardrop shape, and they're just AB crystals, just standard AB crystals. And this is the design I did on the other hand, so I'm doing it the same on this hand. Matching them up, making sure they look good. So once I like the way it sits, I flash cure it because I don't want it to move, and then add a little bit more of the diamond gel and put some more crystals on, doing one crystal each side of the tip of that teardrop shape. Flash cure those in place for 10 seconds. In with some more diamond gel, and this is where I'm going to add some little caviar beads, these little peachy clear ones. Don't know where I got them from, no idea, but they are so finicky trying to get them in place. Sorry, the camera's a little bit out of focus. I'm just using my dotting tool on the other end of my crystal picker upper tool to pick up those little beads with a little bit of diamond gel on the tip of it. They stick to that really easily, but they are so finicky. I was sitting here thinking, why did I do this on the other hand? Like, really, what was I thinking? So time consuming, but it looked really cute. So flash cure those little things in place, and then on the index finger, no, not on the middle finger, I will use some crystals all the way around the smile line. I used a slightly bigger crystal in the middle and then smaller ones right the way to the edge of the smile line, from the middle up to where it meets the nail bed kind of area. in a line straight down. There we go. Make sure I've got enough. Line them all up. That's the wonderful thing about the diamond gel. You can keep fiddling with them and make sure they're as perfect as you like, and then cure them in place. If it was gel, if it was super glue type stuff, then yeah, you'd have to be pretty accurate with your placement immediately. But I love the diamond gel because I can put them in place before I flash cure it, and then give them a full cure. So gave them a full cure, and then it's top coat, of course. Who doesn't love a bit of top coat time? Sorry if you heard that motorbike revving. The windows are open. It's a nice warm day, so yeah, the windows are open. Sorry if you can hear any traffic noise or birdies or children playing. Yeah, that's a fact of life. Anyway, top coat. So as you see, I am top coating the top of the nails, of course, but I'm also top coating just underneath the tip, because it's although I've got glitter on the tip of the nails, it's still a little bit clear. So to get that clarity really clear, you just a little trick to add a little bit of top coat underneath, and it just makes it even clearer, if that makes sense. So if you're ever doing clear nails, always top coat underneath. Top coat the top, and then a little bit underneath, just where the tip is clear. And when I'm top coating, I top coat around the crystals, not over them, because if you top coat over them, they turn into little balls. They lose their facets, so they just end up looking like little balls, and we want them to shine. So don't top coat over them, just top coat around them, which helps seal them in, gives them a little nest to hold them in place a little bit, a bit like shrink wrap. Right up to them, and then I will use a detail brush to get to any of the parts that I can't reach with the brush from the bottle. And then we are done. So as we are coming to the end of the video, I'd like to say thank you ever so much for coming back to my channel and watching. If you have not already done so, please subscribe. Please like the video if you have enjoyed watching it, and click that notification bell so that you are notified when I upload another video. So that is all I have for you this time, peeps. Take care, and I will speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.
I know your body, I know your heart. Your eyes told me from the start, but then you fall back.